What's up guys, welcome back to another Baki video. Today we're reviewing the Warrior Struggle arc, the arc that takes place after the previous one that I reviewed, the Pickle arc. It goes from chapters 186 to 241, and it's the arc before the Yujiro vs Baki battle arc that goes for the remaining of the Hanma Baki manga series. So I hope you enjoy, and let's go. As a whole, this chapter, or this arc as a whole, had its ups and downs. Wasn't one of the best arcs. I probably preferred the Pickle arc a lot more than this one, but it was better than some other previous arcs that were lacking. So it wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst as well. To say in between, middle type of arc. The basis of the arc was pretty much between Baki's training and Retsu becoming a boxer or entering the world of the boxing. The arc can also be seen as preparation before the battle between Yujiro and Baki, with us seeing both Baki and Yujiro preparation and then them two kind of bonding somewhat near the end of the chapter. I'll talk about that later. First, I'll talk about the boxing element with Kaio Retsu throughout the thing. So pretty much throughout the start and all the way to the end, it's pretty much fluctuating between Retsu becoming part of the boxing world and defeating what's the pretty much world champions one by one, or defeating the best in the world one by one with his, Chinese Kenpo mixed boxing, following the boxing rules of course, versus pretty much all these professional top tier boxers and him actually defeating them. And as we know, he had lost the leg in the previous arc to Pickle, as Pickle had eaten his leg. So he's somewhat injured or somewhat not at his best, but he's trying to overcome this and to get stronger by entering a different form of training and showing that the 4,000 years of Chinese Kenpo is superior than the 150 years of boxing development, and him learning boxing and going in depth of boxing during this arc, which was cool to see. So we got flash between that, and then flashes between Baki and his training. He's still doing his visualized training, but this time he's doing it to fight Yujiro. So he's visualizing his fights with or emulating his fights with Yujiro, as he's going to have soon. And another aspect of the arc which was cool to see is that the pretty much world leaders are preparing for the battle between Baki and Yujiro to be pretty much resemblance of a battle between countries, or a war between countries. That's how serious this is. So you have the world leaders all meeting together, discussing how they're going to handle this, how they're going to evacuate civilians when the battle starts, that they need to be watching Baki and Yujiro at all times to be known when the fight is about to start, so they can evacuate everyone so the fight can take place. And while this is happening, Yujiro is just walking around talking shit, saying he's going to kill anyone who pretty much tries to face him. And there's people actually trying to assassinate or kill Yujiro as well, such as the army dude going by the name of Starosky or whatever his name was. I'll just put him up on screen when I talk about him, but this guy here pretty much getting ready to assassinate Yujiro or take Yujiro out, be putting all his armor, putting explosives within his armor to take him out, and then getting absolutely bodied by Yujiro at relative ease. Yujiro just destroying his armor with one kick and then threatening to kill him, so he has to calm him down. Other aspects of the arc which was cool, some little side things where pretty much the Yakuza or Hayama pretty much sent a top Yakuza member to fight Baki. I'm not really 100% sure on the reason for this, and it wasn't really the best part, but this Yakuza member would keep coming back to fight Baki after getting pretty much shut down or bodied each time, getting pretty much knocked out, destroyed, and then he would keep coming back until he actually was able to land a few blows and make Baki bleed. So it's kind of like training for Baki, apart from his visualized training, to get into actual real, training / fighting again, so he can be more ready for the fight. So that's how Hayama, my idea is how he's trying to help Baki, by sending a top Yakuza member to, train with him or fight with him so he's fully ready for his battle with Yujiro. Throughout the arc, we did get to see some other characters, mostly with meetings between Yujiro and the old man that runs the tournament, him pretty much dying on the brink of death, Yujiro meeting him, Baki meeting him, Yujiro meeting other characters, Baki meeting other characters as preparation for their fight. I see, Doppo Orochi just walking around like he always does in the street, and fighting whoever he can, getting challenged, and then pretty much botting people with ease. Always gonna love Doppo Orochi just walking around doing the same shit, always just chatting around Tokyo, bodying people, getting into fights, just living his life like a Chad. The coolest moment, or most Chaddest badass moment during the whole arc, was probably when Yujiro was struck by lightning. He's just walking in the middle of Tokyo and a lightning strike or lightning hit him directly. There was people watching recordings of it, how it lit up his whole body, and he just continued walking like nothing happened, like an absolute Chad. I put the lightning strike on the thumbnail. You just see him there walking like an absolute chat after getting hit by lightning, and people saying this would be something like a test from God or something along those lines, so that was cool to see. And the end of the arc ended quite weird in my opinion. This led into the next arc, which will probably end with the battle between Yujiro and Baki, but it was Baki pretty much wanting to get closer to his dad, and he actually invited him over for dinner, and somehow he was able to get Yujiro to come over for dinner and actually sit down and act like a normal person somehow, and actually them having a conversation, which was pretty interesting. And then like the most intense moment like during the whole arc was pretty much Baki questioning himself whether he should ask his dad if he could pretty much wash the dishes, and then when he did that, Yujiro replied, instead of anger and rage, instead of like punching him, he pretty much challenged him to a game of rock, paper, scissors. They did that with Baki winning with rock and Yujiro on scissors, and then Yujiro, forced his 2 fingers down onto Baki's fist with so much pressure that led to Baki open his fist, which means he was using paper now, and scissors beats paper, so Yujiro won and said this is the Hanma like rock, paper, scissors thing. This was pretty funny and pretty intense to see, and this leads into the next arc where Yujiro pretty much invited Baki over for dinner at one of his, hotel mansion things, whatever's going on there. And that was pretty much everything for the arc. So as a whole, it covered about 50% Retsu and his blocking, and then the rest of it was too much Baki, Yujiro, and some other characters. This preparation for the almighty fight between the Yujiro and Baki. So that's it for today's Warrior Struggle arc review. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to subscribe, join the Discord, and stay tuned for the next video. That's it, guys. Peace.